Hi, Leo and Leo Rising. Here is your horoscope for August 2024. I'm Astrologer Joseph Anthony. All right, buckle up. We have a lot of heavy cosmic energy coming in. Now, fortunately, there is a new moon at the beginning of the month, which is going to be in your sign and in your first house. And so this is going to bring a lot of attention to yourself in some way, or self-recognition, or wanting to reinvent yourself. Now, the energy this month, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, is very disruptive for all signs, not just your sign. And by the way, this reading is for anyone who has a sun sign in Leo or has a rising sign in Leo. This is a general Western astrology tropical reading. Okay, it's a general sun sign reading because I don't have everybody's birthday. Everyone's birthday is different and everyone's birth chart is completely different. So it has to be very general. So this month is a very volatile month because of the outer planets, because of Jupiter and Saturn. And we have a full moon this month, which is going to affect your relationships as well, because it's going to be in your opposite sign of Aquarius. So we're in for some major surprises in your personal life, realizations about your friendships and your partners. This seems to be the theme this month, okay? And it might have already started back in July, because when the sun moves into Leo, which is around July the 22nd, the energy starts getting activated. So here we are in August on the 1st, and we see the sun is going through your first house, but we also have Venus still in your first house. And this will continue, for a few days until Venus leaves here and goes into your second house of income and values and investments. But what makes this tricky is Mercury is also going to go retrograde right here in the second house. So the past comes a calling again. And so we have all this like confusing energy coming in, but it's also like making us more feistier or restless in some way. And this is the kind of energy that I'm seeing here. And it has a lot to do with your future, because Jupiter and Mars will be conjunct this month. That means together right here in the 11th house. So you'll be contemplating the future in a big way. But I would advise to be very careful about making your decisions this month, because the energy is so volatile. And this could be anything from ending a relationship to coming to some sort of realization about a partnership or an organization, or something to do with the past that needs to be resolved because of Mercury being retrograde. So this is the kind of month you have. So I'm just generally painting a picture. So let's get started and see what the astrology has to say. So on the 4th, we have the new moon in Leo right here in your first house of identity and self. It's going to be at 12 degrees of Leo. So wherever that is in your birth chart, your actual birth chart, that's the area you take a look at. And so a new moon in your sign has a lot to do with reinventing yourself. It's about your image. It's about how others see you. It's about the creative forces of the Leo energy. And it's about loving and, family and wanting attention. It's just how it works when we have a new moon in Leo, and which is great because Venus is also going to be in the picture. And there's not a lot of bad alignments to it. In other words, Mars and Jupiter will also be in a favorable alignment to this new moon. And they're coming from the 11th house, which has a lot to do with the future. So there's going to be a lot of questions about the future and making decisions, about where you want to be, where you're going to go, possibly a move as well. This is all in the cards here, or all in the stars. And so this new moon is going to help you reinvent yourself in the next 2 weeks. But again, it's a tricky time because I'm going to show you in a minute why it becomes tricky. But still, I would suggest, changing your appearance, changing your hairstyle, physically changing. If you need to lose weight or gain weight or whatever it is that you're doing physically, this would be a perfect time the next couple of weeks to set those wheels in motion. Now, at the same time, we have Venus entering Virgo on the 4th and 5th. Okay, so here it is, Venus going into Virgo. Now, when Venus goes into Virgo, she becomes more pessimistic, more analytical, because Virgo is the sign of analyzing and perfection. And Venus is the sign of partnerships. Now, Venus going through your second house has a lot to do with finances. It has a lot to do with business partnerships. It has a lot to do with personal partnerships. So maybe you're looking at funding. Maybe you're looking at all kinds of numbers and needing to calculate the relationship that you find yourself in, whether it's business or personal, that needs adjustment, that needs change. The other reason I say this is because look at Venus at 0 degrees. As soon as it enters, it's going to be in conjuncting Pluto at 0 degrees in the partnership house. And so everything to do with partnerships is on the table as we start off this month. And like I said, it might have already started in July for many of you. And so this will continue to go through this second house for about 5 weeks or so. Just focusing your attention on other people and, what your resources are, your investments. In other words, you're digging deeper and deeper into the financial side of things and also your value system. Venus also represents value. The second house also represents value. But notice right next to it, Mercury, the sign of communication, is in Virgo, its own sign that it rules, but it's in stationary position. So we also have on the 5th, Mercury going retrograde right there, which will add an element of confusion into the mix because Venus is coming down, Mercury is now slowed down and is going to go backwards. They're eventually going to meet up this month. And so we're looking at an element of confusion here. Where do I go? What do I do? What do I do with my investments? I'm not sure. Is this relationship worth it? I mean, you may be questioning everything because of these alignments here, okay? And Mercury, as you know, Mercury retrograde is about the past. It's about reliving the past, rethinking about the past, revisiting the past in some way to resolve it, to make amends, to bring a project up from the past. And so this is all going to be on the table over the next 3 weeks as well, but adding a little bit of confusion as well, because as we move forward into the 14th, this alignment occurs, Mars conjunct Jupiter in the sign of Gemini. This is a very strong alignment where communication is very strong, where thinking is very strong, where overthinking is absolutely possible. You may have sleepless nights because of this energy being so strong and weird, okay? So this on a positive level could be like genius level, trying to figure things out. If you're calculating formulas and trying to get an equation done, this could be great for that. But on a personal level, this could be something to do with a friendship, an organization that you're overthinking or over-processing information to the point that it drives you, batty. So, and worrying about the future because the 11th house has to do with the future. So overthinking and overcomplicating things. But what makes this so tricky is when we look at the alignments to these two planets. Now this is 16 degrees of Gemini. And then we look over here, we see Saturn at 17 degrees of Pisces. That is a square in astrology. That means it's confusion. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of restriction in the mix. And it happens to be in the 8th house of death and rebirth, finances, inheritance, other people's money, insurance, taxes. It's in Pisces. Might have something to do with health as well, mental health. So we need to be careful of, that as well. In other words, being so overwhelmed and so overloaded with information that we feel like we're losing our marbles. So pay attention to that. Then when we look down at the other end here, Venus is also coming into a square to these two planets and opposing Saturn. So right away we have the makings of what we call a T-square, which is a lot of pressure, which is a lot of energy coming in, being forced upon us. You see what I'm saying? So after this 14th, the energy is just really intense. We also have Mercury backtracking into Leo, your sign right there on the 15th. So now Mercury is in your first house, and now you're questioning everything. Is this what I really want? Is this where I'm going? I'm not sure. What's happening to me? What's my future hold? What do I do with my funding? What happens to family? You're questioning everything because of these alignments, because of the energy. Look at astrology as doorways. They open and close. They send energy our way. We react to it. And remember, friends, we all have free will. That's how it works. We all have free will. So never think that it's fated and it's destiny, that you're only going to go this direction. No, it's all about free will. Okay, so keep that in mind. So the Mercury retrogrades back into Leo. All right. So the next thing we have, and this is the big stuff coming in on the 19th, is the full moon in Aquarius. Has to do with your 7th house of relationships. So this is all about relationships, and it's a full moon. So you're coming to some sort of realization about a relationship, whether it's a business relationship, a friendship, an acquaintance, a marriage, some sort of partnership. that is going to be on the table for questioning. You know, and you're going to be questioning, am I in the right relationship? Is this what I really want? You know, is this where I'm going? Okay, so pay attention to that energy, because there's a lot of stuff going on over here. Now, if you're not aware of your moon sign, you know, check out this free offer here that I found online to find out where your actual moon is. You know, you fill out your information, they send you a mini report or something like that, and it's still very good. So I've decided to just, you know, share this with everyone. So check out your moon sign right here and see if it's something that you know, resonates with you. Okay, and it's totally free, there's no obligation, and you know, so anyway, check it out. I left the link down below. So this moon is going to be in Aquarius, your opposite sign. It's going to be at 27 degrees of Aquarius. It'll be opposing the sun and the moon at exactly 27 degrees. And so issues about relationships and identity and self-worth are absolutely going to be on the table. But what makes this full moon so tricky is it's going to be squaring Uranus exactly at 27 degrees. So this is a major alignment, because they're exact, all three are exact at 27 degrees, making another T-square in the mix. Okay, so not only do we have the T-square from the 14th, which is still in effect, and I'm going to cover that right now in a second. Some of you may already see it on the screen here, 17, 17, 17. But this Uranus at 27 degrees, squaring your sun and your moon, has to do with explosive energy, surprises, things that are going to change either in your career or your status, like getting a divorce or getting married, or there's so much pressure here that's building that you're wanting to break free from something or someone. That's how it works. But at the same time, we have these other alignments. Venus will square Jupiter, and Jupiter squares Saturn. So here it is. Venus is at 17, squaring Jupiter. Jupiter's at 17, squaring Saturn. Do you see another T-square here exact? We have two exact T-squares running simultaneously on top of each other. So this is like carrying a 50-pound bag of potatoes, then adding another 50-pound bag of potatoes, and you trying to walk forward. That's how I would, you know, see this. And please don't take this personally. And what I mean by that is, don't think that this is only happening to you. All the signs are going to feel this energy. You just happen to be a sun sign or a rising sign in Leo, which affects your identity and your personality and yourself and the other people in your life. So there's a lot of pressure being put upon you here. A lot of strain, a lot of frustration, a lot of change. But it's up to you how you deal with it. That's the beauty of free will. Okay? So please take that into consideration. The sun enters Virgo on the 22nd and 23rd into the second house of income and value. Once again, having to do with your belief systems, having to do with your money, having to do with your resources, having to do with anything related to the physical world. But unfortunately, it's in Virgo. Virgo is the analyst. So once again, just like Venus in Virgo, you are going to continue to analyze your self-worth. You're going to continue to analyze your money, your income, your resources, your finances in some way. And it could pertain to a partnership, because as the sun goes into 0 degrees of Virgo, it makes an alignment to Pluto at 0 degrees of Aquarius. Once again, suggesting something to do with partnerships or a transformation to a partnership. That's how it works. Mercury finally goes direct on the 28th right there at stationary position in your first house. And a little bit of clarity starts to come into the picture. Okay, and I say it a little bit because it takes about a week or two before Mercury comes into full speed, starts to catch up to where it went retrograde before, and that's when you start developing the clarity. And so this is going to help out quite a bit. And of course, Venus entering Libra as well on the 29th and 30th in your third house of communication. So now you're talking about that partnership, you're reconnecting, you're trying to make amends, you're trying to understand things. There's a lot of communication at the end of the month that needs to be resolved, or matters need to be looked at and taken care of. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing here, Leo and Leo rising. And so this is the kind of dynamics that we have going on this month. Very strong energy, very much confusing, a lot of pressure. And like I said, we're all feeling it. Doesn't matter what sign you are, we're all going to be feeling it. Anyway, if you like this video and you want to learn more about astrology, stand by for a little a video that I have at the end of this video to help you understand a little bit more about my private community. Anyway, make the best of this month, Leo, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye for now. Hi, thank you so much for watching my monthly astrology. I really appreciate your support over the years. Have you ever considered learning astrology? Well, you're in luck because I've created a full online astrology course in my private community. It's a full 6-module course that takes you from the beginning of astrology, what it all means, the mythologies, the houses, all the way to the more advanced techniques such as progressions, solar returns, how to read transits, how to make predictions. It's all there in this course here. And I even dive into some of the mysterious stuff, what some of the symbolism is all about. So I think you might want to check it out if you're interested. Along with the course, we have a very tight-knit community here where everyone helps each other out. And so if someone knows a lot about astrology, they help other people with astrology. So it's a community that really gets involved and, really wants to learn and help each other out. But as you can see here, I have a whole lot more on this private community. I also have the Inner Circle live calls each week. Now, this is something that I do twice a month on YouTube, but here I do them on a weekly basis. And I talk about various topics. You get to ask me questions, we interact, and we learn a whole lot more than just astrology. So this could be anything from astrology to what's going on in the world, predictions, politics, whatever it is. We talk about it in the Inner Circle calls. Of course, I do have videos here that I do not have on YouTube, so you get those too. And then I've got a private resource vault, which has videos that I suggest watching, books suggested reading, meditations, and more. So if you're interested in learning astrology or want to be part of a great community that's really growing fast, head on over to the link down below and click on the link and join today. All right? Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.